from Bulgaria in 1983, and I thought this was showed some themes very nicely. It's again an opening that I don't want to spend a lot of time on. White grabs some space uh, with the pawns, but falls behind in development. Black gets developed and tries to develop solidly around it. So now we have a position where White's got a bit more space, and particularly more space on the king side, and hopes to attack with it. White's centre might need attacking at some point with a move like c5, so Black relocates the knight in order to play that sort of move. But that's all been a bit slow, so White is nicely mobilised, I think. Not found a home for the Queen's bishop yet, but there's no way of improving its view with it, by moving it. But White can attack the King's side. The King's side doesn't have any weaknesses in it yet, but Knight eg5 is going to provoke one, because Black can't defend the h-pawn with any more pieces. So Black goes g6, and now there are some holes developing in the Black King side. Queen to e4 by White, and King to g7, using the king, I suppose, to stop anything ever coming into h6, but that may or may not work. White takes some time to drive away the Black Knight from defending that hole on f6, and now plays Queen to h4, and that's ganging up on the h-pawn again. Black doesn't want to move the h-pawn, I don't think, but does so. Now there are more holes around, I guess. White moves the Queen to f4, where it's actually got a view of both of the holes in the Black position. Queen to e8, trying to defend things, and now the knight comes back looking at the hole on f6. Also, dodging the knight out of the way allows the Queen and the bishop to line up on h6. So rook h8 by Black defends against that. Now knight on f to g5, and then we're ganging up on the f-pawn. So the rook goes back to f8, and now knight to f6, and then in this position Black actually resigned. If we have a couple of swaps, if we have a swap on f6, then Black's let's just have a look at that. If we play, I'm not sure it matters either. Piece to f6 takes. The king is forced back to this sort of square, and now knight to e4, and then the Queen can't be stopped from coming into g7 with checkmate, except by sacrificing a knight onto f6, and then Black will lose because they're a piece down. And if after knight f6 they just move the Queen, say to d8, now there's a forced win with knight takes e6 check, and the Queen gets the h6 point, and after king to f7, Queen to h7 mate. So lots of nice points about that game. That's all done with the pieces and not the pawns, apart from this key pawn on e5, which has been there for a long while. Creating weaknesses and using the weaknesses to get into the attack, and also ganging up on weak points with as many pieces as you can. So lots of themes about how to attack the castle king there in that game.